in my own hometown. Stranger.
Hey folks, Little Johnny, and once again it's Friday. Means time for 5 minutes, having a bit of a yarn. This week with the support of Jim Beam Small Batch bourbon, apparently with the addition of some port. Usual way of doing things, but hey. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is freshness of the beer you're drinking, or more particularly the idea that, you know, your beer needs to be drunk really fresh. Now, this stems from a lot of people, an idea around hoppy beers particularly. You know, it's come really to the fore with New England IPAs in general, or even now this run of late hopped, whirlpool hopped pale ales, and you know, people are dry hopping pretty much everything. But there's this idea that these hoppy beers need to be drunk immediately, you know, once they're brewed, to fully get that hop flavour before it dies. Now, I have issue with that. I mean, and again, this is my personal opinion, and this is from tasting my own beers and playing around with different hop profiles and things. I find that those hoppy beers, particularly, you know, IPAs and the big hoppy beers with lots of hop flavour, are better if they're left at least 3 weeks in the bottle or in the keg from the time you put them there. Yeah, people are saying get your IPA, get into the keg, get it gassed up within 24 hours and drink it. Start drinking it. Yeah, I've done that. I've tried them, and what you get is not what you're trying to achieve when you're making that beer. I think people are missing what it is the hops are meant to taste like. When you're putting a huge amount of hops in late in, like, you know, after the boil, and dry hopping into the fermenter, you're extracting a whole lot of stuff in a different way than what you do when you're boiling it. And I always have, it's an interesting way of looking at it, but the way I tend to put it is that when you put those big additions into your beer, when you're first tasting it, like, you know, that beer's 4 days old, 5 days old, and you're tasting it, what you're tasting is the hops. And people go, well, you meant to taste the hops. Yeah, but you're not getting the flavour of the hop, you're tasting the hop. You're tasting the actual vegetative material, the leaf, the actual plant flavour. You're not getting the underlying flavour that comes from the acids that are in the hop. And that's what you're after. You know, the citrus flavours, the pine, the resins, the dank, that comes when that initial hop hit is gone. Once it's settled, you've got to let those flavours come on. And yeah, until probably 18 months ago, I wasn't really big on drinking, you know, big hoppy beers. You know, I worked my way up to them, you know, and made more of them. And it was then that I started looking at this. I mean, first time I made a really big IPA, you know, with a lot of hops in it. And I first drank it, and it was nice. You know, it had been in the bottle for 2 weeks. It had carved up nicely. I drank it, and it was nice. There was plenty of, you know, there was that hop flavour. You know, a week later when I tried that beer again, it was completely different. The flavours had gone from just being just this combination of grassy, leafy stuff to I could taste what was meant to be tasting the orange, the mandarin, lemon, apricots, peaches, watermelon, whatever it is, depending on what the hop is. It takes time for those flavours to settle and mellow. There's a reason why commercial breweries put beer away in bright tanks for an extended time before they bottle it after it's fermented, because it takes time for those flavours to actually become what they're meant to be. We don't get beer 2 days after it's left the fermenter. It takes time, and there's a reason for that. It takes time for it to develop and get to the flavours you want. So if you're out there and you're necking your IPA within 2 weeks of it being bottled, you've never experienced it in the way that it should be. You don't even know what your IPA should taste like. So there's going to be people who take, we don't particularly like this idea and think, it's a bit crazy, and it should just get into it. But I challenge anybody out there who's brewing hoppy beers to let them sit a little bit longer and see what they're like. Because I'm telling you right now, you let that IPA go for 3 to 4 weeks and then start drinking it, and it's a damn sight better than what it was 2 weeks before. If you try it and you like it and you agree, stick a comment down the bottom. This sort of thing takes numbers and people to pass that information on. If you don't like it, don't agree, put a comment in the well. It doesn't matter. No one has to. We don't have to agree. This is my opinion. This is what I've observed. Other people, may not find it the same way. Okay. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit it down the bottom there so you know when the videos are up. So that's Friday for today. I'll try to be here again next Friday. We'll see how we go, and there'll be a bit of stuff in between, and we'll have a bit of a natter about beery type stuff. So until then, good brewing.